did something on, I want to say on Twitter about me, saying that he'll fight me. I said, okay. I wouldn't mind that. I don't know how true it is. A lot of times social media be twisting people's words up. So I said, I know him personally, so I would reach out to him just to get clarity on how things was said and happened. But yes, it does open me up to a range of
What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got my brother Gary Antuanne Russell in the news, and we got Shakur Stevenson in the news. As you guys can see, Shakur Stevenson responded to the video that you just saw earlier with Gary Russell saying, LOL, crazy. I got hella respect for cuz. We used to spar every other day, for real. He don't gotta take it no type of way, but I would love to line it up with him if the money makes sense. All right. Now, here's my thing. All right. First and foremost, if you guys don't know, yeah, Shakur does have a lot of history with the Russell brothers. He and Gary, I believe he sparred. I don't know. I thought when Gary Russell Jr. stated that, like, you know, he's been in there and sparred with his brother. Actually, he's actually sparred with all of them. He sparred with Gary Russell Jr. Who was competing at 126. He sparred with Gary Antonio Russell. And see, I thought that I didn't know that he sparred with Gary Antuanne Russell either, though. That's actually amazing. That's some really good work. I mean, anybody sparring any Russell brother is good work, because those you know, that's a family of not only boxers, but like these dudes, all of them have a high IQ. Especially Gary Allen Russell, which is Gary Russell Jr. And I got to give a major shout out to him, because I think that Gary Russell Jr. is, I mean, absolutely amazing in the corner. And, you know, and I know I'm just getting off subject just a little bit, but I got to give my flowers when flowers are due. One thing I love about Gary Allen or Gary Russell Jr., you know, all of their names is Gary Russell, but, you know, they go by their middle names, Antonio, Antuanne, you know, all, you know, so, but one thing I love about Gary Russell Jr., like what as a coach, is like, I love when coaches give specific instructions. You know, you got a coach that says that say things like, oh, you need to get on the inside, and let your hands go and stuff like that. Bro, why don't you tell him how to get on the inside, bro? Like, why don't you explain how to get on the inside? Gary Russell Jr. explains like how he needs to set things, how Antuanne needs to set things up. Like, dude is just like, his knowledge in the sport is phenomenal, man. Like, I really like him as a coach, for real. I mean, he was a great fighter, no doubt about it, but as a coach, I really like what I see, and I would love to see Gary Russell. I would love to see him coach other fighters too, man. I know he's not really interested in working with anybody outside of his family, because they are a close family. But I would love to see Gary Russell as a coach to many of the fighters, especially in the DMV. Like, oh hell, I'd like to see him coach Lamar Roach, like, you know. But, you know, I just think that he's a great coach. But anyways, getting back to the subject. Antuanne has been stating for years that he would actually like to, get the titles and move down to 135. I'm gonna be honest with you, as talented and as amazing Gary Antuanne Russell is, I'm not really a big fan of fighters moving down in weight. I just don't, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that. I just think that fighters need to, I think that does more harm. I mean, because I always feel like this, right? I always feel like if he could make the weight, then, that's what he would initially be at, 135, right? That's just how I always feel. Now, granted, he came in his fight with Rayo, I think, at 138. So, it's clear that he can weigh in under 140, but I just always felt like, bro, if you could have made 135, that's what you would have done in a safe way. I'm not so sure that just him moving down to 135, he'll be as effective as he is at 140. Now, as for Shakur, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with him moving up to 140 to fight Gary Antuanne Russell. I just don't think that that's a safe thing for Shakur to do. And the reason why I say that is because, bro, Shakur is great and phenomenal when it comes to him cutting off the ring. I mean, not cutting off the ring, using his range and his his ability to control distance, his range. Shakur has a great IQ. But what happens when that is not enough to work? And if it's one person that can definitely test that, is Gary Antuanne Russell. And with Shakur moving up to 140, I don't know if that would be a safe move for him to fight Gary Antuanne Russell. Just based off of the styles, Gary Antuanne Russell is like a better version of Shawn Porter, in my opinion. He's very aggressive, very relentless, but he is not as he doesn't smother himself. Like, you remember Shawn Porter, I feel like a lot of the reasons why he didn't get more knockouts is because he often smothered his work. When he would get on the inside, he often smothered his work, and he was definitely wide and there to be hit. While Gary Antuanne Russell is there to be hit at times, he's a lot more cerebral coming on the inside, and he's more defensively aware, much more defensively aware than Shawn Porter. It's no shot at Shawn Porter at all. It's no slight to him, but I'm just calling it how I see. And with that being said, I'm not sure. It's an interesting matchup for sure. It's an interesting matchup, but I'm not so sure that Shakur will be able to keep Gary Antuanne Russell off of him, bro. If you guys remember, bro, Gary Antuanne, he did get caught a few times by Ryo, and Buddy just ate that shit, bro. But Buddy ate that. Like, it's like whenever Ryo would land a good shot, like, Antuanne was just like, nah, bro, you just really, you gotta pay for that twice as much. He just ate that shit. Go back and watch the fight. Whenever Ryo would have a good moment, and I'm gonna tell you something. I was meaning to say this in my other video talking about that fight. The very first round, I want you guys to watch that fight. The very first round, Ryo caught Antuanne with a flush shot. I knew Ryo was gonna be in some shit when he called Antuanne with the flush shot, and Antuanne kind of, like, you could tell his corner said something, and Antuanne kind of did something with his glove. Like, it's hard for me to explain how it is, but like when you see it, it's more so like it was an emotion of like, chill out, I got it, we good, don't worry about it. Like, that was nothing, we good. Like, he did that motion to like his corner, like, we good, bro. That wasn't shit. We in for a long night. That's when I knew. I was like, okay, Ryo's in for some trouble. Cause Ryo was catching the shit out of him. Not like as often, but he would. Every now and again he'll catch Antuanne. Boom. And Antuanne would just eat that shit and keep coming, bro. So with that being said, and Ryo who slept Cobra, slept him. I'm not sure if Shakur can keep Antuanne off of him, man. That's a bull right there. So, and what further, I'm gonna be honest with you, what further makes me know that this fight will never happen, or it won't happen no time soon at least, is when fighters, and I'm not this is no slack to Shakur at all, but I'm just from the history, from what I know about boxing, when a fighter says if the money makes sense, that pretty much for me that says, you know what, he's probably not gonna fight dude. Now, it's only a few fighters that did say that, and they actually made the fight happen. I remember when Jermaine Taylor said that with Kelly Pavlik, after Kelly Pavlik knocked out Edison Miranda, when he's on the undercard of Jermaine versus, I believe it was Corey Spinks, I believe. I remember they asked him about Kelly Pavlik. Jermaine was like, hey, if the money makes sense, we can make it happen. Let's go. If the money is right, I'm there. Let's go. And I guess the money made sense because they made that fight very, very next. But it's more times than none. It's more like that, likely that Shakur is not gonna be really looking to fight dude. Because another reason why I say this is because Gary Antuanne Russell, though he's a star in my eyes, his name is not. He's a high risk, low reward type of fighter. And he's going to he's going to be a problem for a lot of guys, but he's also going to be easy for a lot of guys to avoid, because it's like, you know, you're a big threat to me, but shit, like, it's not like you have the name of like a Tank Davis or like even a Devin Haney at that, you know what I'm saying? And that's no slack to my boy Antuanne at all, but that's just how I know how these fighters are nowadays, and I can definitely see that going in that way. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you see winning that fight? Like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?